What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today I want to talk about the continued conditions at Rikers Island. Now, it's getting worse. It's getting terrible, and they need to do something before before the rest of the correction officers just walk off the job and leave that building hanging. And if I was them, I would, because now it's getting out of hand. Okay, it's always been out of hand, but it seemed like the conditions are just getting worse. And Mayor De Blasio has received criticism for his lack of support as New York City rates have risen. So we're going to get into that. It's a series of videos from Rikers Island captured violent scenes of inmates attacking prison guards, including one incident where one officer could not stand up after being brutally kicked and stomped on. Violence among the inmates has increased over the past year as broken bones, stitches, and stabbings have been reported by the officers. Okay? And that's sad. You mean to tell me you got to go to work, you're working in a dangerous place anyway, you're working with inmates, and then you have to go to work, and these inmates have no respect for the prison guards. They're up there stabbing them, kicking them, fighting them. These people got to go home to their families. So it says here, we're working 25 plus hours straight. No meal breaks. The conditions of having gang members in the same housing areas, gang affiliated housing, we're being assaulted. Okay. And the Correction Officers Association President, De Blasio, told the network. Benny also added that there has been a 23% increase in inmates with violent felony charges. And I will leave a link down in the comment section where you can see what's going on inside, Rikers Island, with the guards and the inmates fighting and stuff. These guards got to protect themselves. What's going to happen if one of these inmates kill one of the prison guards? Then what's going to happen then? It's just unbelievable. These people are working 25 plus hours with no breaks, no meal breaks, or nothing. It says the COVID-19 pandemic has also played a factor in the rise of inmates and decline of working officers. Due to this, the working environment at Rikers Island has been considered unbearable as several staff members have left because of the inmates' behavior, and I don't blame them. A compilation of surveillance footage clips obtained by Fox News has captured some of the attacks inmates have imposed on the officers in the New York prison. Now, the first video showed an inmate walking on the opposite side of a prison guard. When the prison guard stopped, the inmate then launched himself at the guard as he began to punch him. The guard is then seen tackling him to the ground at the end of the hallway. The second video that's going around shows a similar hallway with a guard standing outside a row of cells. One inmate leaves his cell and then jumps the guard, but this time with the guard running the other way. Now, another guard is seen running from the opposite end of the hallway as the inmate and a gang of others slowly approach. A third video shows two officers holding down an inmate with his arms tied behind his back. Another guard is seen back as he keeps watch of the situation. Then out of nowhere, an inmate comes running from the left side and pushes into one of the guards. The guard from the back takes control of the situation as he begins spraying an unidentified liquid at the inmate as he runs away. Now, the guard is seen telling the others to keep watch as he continues to spray the area, possibly as a warning to other inmates. Another video, it's like the fourth and final video, captures the attack of an officer by multiple inmates. The officer is first seen standing behind a table and chair as the inmates then rush in to punch and push him to the ground. Each of the inmates seemed to have taken turns throwing punches at the guard, with one jumping on the table he was sitting at and violently kicking him back to the ground. After they leave, the officer attempts to get up but falls over, clearly battered and traumatized by the incident. He then manages to pull himself up and leaves the room. And the last bit shows the officers talking to a female one as he seems to be describing what had happened. This is horrible. This is horrible. The resources available to the staff at Rikers Island have been slim as it remains understaffed, leaving the same officers overworked and continuously left with picking up the inmates' mess. Federal Monitor Steve Martin filed a letter to court on August 24th about the violence at Rikers Island and how it has worsened over previous years, according to the New York Times. They need to do something. As for Mayor De Blasio, he is getting criticized for his lack of support during these events as crime has risen in the state over the past year. Rikers Island was agreed to be closed in 2019 as pushed by De Blasio and is now set for a closure date in 2027. Felony assault has risen by 5.2% in the past year as 13,891 cases were reported in 2021 as compared to 13,202 cases in 2020. And that's according to the NYPD. Let me tell you something. Crime has always been in New York City. We know that. Crime is everywhere. But it seems like to me it escalated when the pandemic hit. And you wouldn't think that it would be that much because no one was outside. But when the pandemic hit, that's when you saw a big increase in a lot of crimes. People just doing senseless murdering and jumping other people out of nowhere. And also, the city have all this money to do everything else. The homeless people are running wild because they have nowhere else to go. And some of those homeless people have mental health issues. And they are out there attacking people. They're out there attacking people, doing all types of stuff. Why can't they get a facility for these people and put them there? It's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Every time you turn around, there's big buildings being, built in New York City. Sky rises. Like, we need any more sky rises in Manhattan or in Brooklyn. Okay? Now the big buildings are coming to Queens, Jamaica, Queens. Like, it looks so out of place. It looks so out of place. Near Sefton Boulevard in Jamaica, now they're starting with the tall buildings there. It doesn't even look the same. Okay, it looks really out of place in Jamaica, Queens. Brooklyn, it doesn't look awkward, but it looks awkward in Queens. Okay, but so many new buildings are going up in Brooklyn. So many new buildings are always going up in Manhattan. Why can't they take some of these buildings that they're not using, okay, and make that a place for homeless people? Build them a little courtyard there so they can stay there and it will not be on the street. Because since the pandemic and people couldn't see their counselors, I guess, like how they used to, or the facilities, they wasn't seeing, the right people. They was out on the street. They were living on the trains, okay? They were just out on the street starting trouble. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand. But as for Rikers Island, something needs to be done. Because these prison guards are getting attacked, jumped, working 25-hour shifts, no meal breaks. They are overworked and underpaid. and a lot more are going to start leaving. And what's going to happen is no prison guards are going to be in Rikers Island, and all the inmates are going to take over, and they're going to have to bring in outside force to get them together. That's what's going to happen next. I'm telling you, they better get it right. Because it's going to take one inmate to really get hurt or murdered. And that family is going to sue Rikers Island in New York City because of that. I'm telling you. They should not be one person. These guards need relief. They need to go home. 25-hour shifts? Come on. That's crazy. That's too much for one person to take on. And it's a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job. They putting their life on the line every day to be around those inmates. And these inmates are getting out of control. So, I don't know, guys. Well, I just hope something happens soon, because the next step is you're going to be seeing it on the news that the inmates have total control over Rikers Island. All right, you guys, that's all I have for right now. I'm also looking into some other stuff about Rikers Island, so I'll be coming back with more information on that, and I will talk to you later.